killing people. You're just looking for precept to attack people and do evil on earth. If God allowed the Russian to have the nuclear bomb, the same God allowed the Iranian to have nuclear bomb. The same God that allowed the United States of America to have nuclear bomb, the same God allowed the Chinese, the East Indian, the Pakistani to have nuclear bomb. The Mosai moved the Spirit upon whoever, whatever nation the Mosai want to do certain specific thing for the Mosai. Or you get up, you say, well, we got to stop the Iranian because they're a few weeks from the nuclear bomb. You can't stop them. How you know they have the nuclear bomb anyway? How will you know? Maybe they already have it three years ago. Maybe they already have the nuclear bomb a year ago or 20 years ago. How you don't know? You just lie. You can't. Do you live there with them? Unless you got secret agent working with you that is giving you those secret information. That's the only way. And this, which is possible. Which is possible. Because we know how this thing goes down. It's possible that they got secret agent, right, in Iran that got paid and posting as Iranian, acting like he's working for the Iranian government and he's leaking what secret information or secret document. Otherwise, how you know that they're a few weeks away from the nuclear bomb? If they have the nuclear bomb, did the Israeli, how come they didn't stop America, the United States, from having nuclear bomb? How come the Israeli did not stop Pakistan from having nuclear bomb? How come the Israeli did not stop the East Indian from having nuclear bomb? How come the Israeli did not stop the so-called French from having nuclear bomb? How come the Israeli did not stop Russia, China from having nuclear bomb? But all of a sudden you want to stop Iran. The reason why you want to stop Iran, because you know that you're wicked. That's why. You're wicked. That's why. The reason why you're scared, you know why? Because you're doing something bad. Because you ain't got to worry. You ain't got to worry if you ain't doing nothing evil. The reason why you concerned, you Israeli, because you're doing evil. You are not doing justice. You are not doing justice, because if you were doing justice, after you have taken it, you've stolen the land of the children of Israel from the Palestinian and from the Syrian, that will be a different case. You are not doing justice. You're just bullying. You're attacking the Syrian. You're attacking the Palestinian. You're doing all type of madness and foolishness and weakness. And God allowed you to do it. God allowed you. We understand that in the spiritual level, that God allowed you to do it. Because this is your time. Because your end is nigh and game will be over. All essentially, you concerned about Iranian. Don't you know that God set up the Iranian the same way God set you up in the land? And you took over the land from the Palestinian the same way God set up the Iranian. I thought you said you believe in the Bible. I thought you said you follow the Torah. Supposedly you believe and you follow the Torah. Don't you understand that God set up everything, kings, and removed them? So God set up the Israeli. Let's go in the book of Daniel, man. Let's go in the book of Daniel. Because the Iranian, everything that they're doing, God wants them to do it. If they, listen, God wants the Iranian to have nuclear bomb, they're going to have it. And no country on this earth can stop them. The Russian cannot stop them. The European Union cannot stop them. The NATO cannot stop them. The Israeli cannot, you cannot stop them. It just is impossible. It doesn't matter how many military drills you do. You cannot stop them because you are not God. You are not sitting on a throne. Man, before I go over there, let's go in the book of Isaiah, man. Let's go in the book of Isaiah. And Rafaela, please pause the precept, right? Right? Pause the precept, please. Let's go right here, right? Let's go in the book of Isaiah and we're going to prove it. Right? Let's go in the book of Isaiah. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 54. Isaiah 54. And we're going to read from verses 17, right? Let's read from verses 15 through 16, right? 15 through 16, that's the point. Isaiah chapter 54, 15 through 16. Let's read it. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 54, and verses 15 through 16. Behold, they shall surely gather together. Who is gathering together right now? The U.S., Babylon the Great, and the Israeli. They're gathering together to do a military exercise or military drill, intense military drill, and they'll simulate the attack on Iran. Okay, let's see if that will happen. Right? Let's see. He said, behold, they should surely gather together. So they surely gathered together. The Babylonian, right? The Egyptian, they're gathering together with who? With the Israeli, right? Let's continue. But not by me. The Mosai didn't gather you. The Mosai did not gather you. Who is making them gather together, come together? The left inside of the Mosai, Beelzebub, right? Satan. Let's continue. He said, but not by me. Whosoever shall gather together against thee shall fall for thy sake. So a lot of this nation, this hidden, they're gathering together against the Israelite, right? Because the end game of all this is about us, is about the Israelite, right? Let's continue verses 16. Behold, I've created the smith that bloweth the coals. The smith. Today, if you were to break it down, you talk about your engineer, your scientist, your technician, right? Those that study chemistry, how to mix this and that. Plenty, million of them here in America, million in Iran. And keep in mind, Iranian, they have the top chemists in the world. The Iranian, listen, they have the top, even here in the USA, the top professor of chemistry are Iranian. Listen, I'm not joking. I went to the university, right? So, and I had a professor, my professor of chemistry, she was from Iran, keep in mind. Top chemistry, and she didn't learn that here. She didn't learn chemistry in America, no. She learned it from Iran, understand that. Top chemistry. Who give them the power, that knowledge? The Mosai through Satan. The Mosai through Satan, understand that. Okay? So you can't stop the Iranian. You cannot. Only God can stop the Iranian. Only God. The Israeli cannot stop them. The USA cannot stop them. And they have tried the past 7-10 years under Obama. It didn't work. Under Donald Trump, it did not work. Under Obama and Donald Trump, it did not work. Okay? So stop deceiving the people. Stop lying. Stop propagating lie. Don't deceive the people. You cannot stop the Iranian. If it's the will of the Mosai for them to create, to have the nuclear bomb, you cannot stop the Iranian. You cannot. You cannot stop the Iranian. Plain and simple. Point blank period. Bible prophecy must come to pass. That's what Shalom King, all praise be unto the Mosai, Yahweh, Bachashem, Yahweh Shai, Bachashem, Rakah Kodash, Aman, Hallelujah. Kwam Yeshala, Shalom King, Ashar Shabbat Shalom King, Ashar Shabbat Shalom, Ashar Shabbat Shalom King, right? My beloved brother, man, my beloved brother, my mighty brother, all praises, right? So you can't stop Iran, man. You cannot stop Iran. You cannot. Just clear that off your mind. You can't stop Iran. God wants the Iranian to have bomb. God balances everything. God must balance. God, he had war on just weight. The Mosai looking for war balance. So the Iranian, they need the nuclear bomb. They need it. They got to be able to defend their people. The same way the USA have the nuclear bomb to defend his citizen. The same way the East Indian, they need to defend their people, man. They must, they have to. So you can't stop them. You can do your military exercise. You can do your drill all you want. But you cannot stop God. It's just fact. Right? Let's read it. Let's read it again here. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 54 and verse 16. Behold, I've created the smith that blows the coal in the fire. Right? Because before they start making the bombs, the ICBM, Satan 1, Satan 2, before they start making all those things, how were people making weapons? They were using what? Fire. They'll use what? Iron, they'll put in the fire, and they'll bring it out while it is super hot, and they'll shape it very, very, very quick with what? With hammer, right? The smith he go, tum, 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 pa, pa, pa. He got he got a type of plier, because you know the fire is so hot. He got to stay away. He bring it out, then he'll dip it in the cold water, shape it up, and drop and pour it back in the fire. That's how they were making sword, gun, weapon. Until the Mosai gave them what new idea through who Satan, they start making what sophisticated weapon like gun, right? Things like that. Keep in mind. So that's what the Bible talking about, right? Let's read it again. He said, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, And I've created the waster to destroy, the waster, like the AK-47, like the gun, right? The S-300, S-500, right? The Stinger, right? Those are jet, those are some type of airplane that are used in the military. These are military terms. And you can go online, you can learn about it if you want to, man. There's some of those like some of helicopter, right? There's some type of like drone, some type of jet, like that's what the Bible's talking about. So you got to keep in mind, the Iranian, they can't do anything unless God allowed them to do so. So you're Israeli, you got to understand that you ain't no above the Iranian, right? And you are not better than the Iranian, okay? And you ain't done no wrong. Why are you scared? Why are you concerned, man? Right? Why are you worrying for your behind? You worrying for your behind because you sinning against the Most High, because you're doing evil in the land. The Most High gave you the land. Since we sin against the Most High gave you the land. Then you went over there, you kicked the Palestinian from the land, and you took over the land. And you didn't do no justice in the land. All you do is violence and bloodshed all day long. Since 1947. Since 1947, you've been killing and killing and killing and taking more land every day. That's what you do. And you want to talk about the Iranian. You're going to stop them from having the nuclear bomb. Hello, you can't do it. You can't stop them. Let's read in the book of Daniel. Let's go in the book of Daniel chapter 4, right? Let's jump to 17, right? I think that's the point that I want, right? Let's go in the book of... this is the book of Daniel chapter 4, and we're going to jump to verse 17 straight to the point, right? Right? Daniel, right? Daniel, you got to keep in mind, man. The Lord ruling in man's kingdom, okay? Right? Let's read it. This is the book of Daniel chapter 4 and verse 17. This matter is by the decree of the watcher. You know what does it mean? The watcher, the angels, the prophet of the Most High. Right? The brother on the highway on the byway, the camps, those are the watchers, okay? The angels, the messenger, the prophet, and the list goes on and on. Those are the watchers of the Most High. This matter is by the decree of the watcher, the prophet, the messenger, the brother that sits on the highway on the byway. Let's keep it in mind. And the demand by the word of the holy ones, of the holy one, the elect, the elector, the Hebrew Israelites. The Hebrew Israelite, those that are rebuking the weakness of our people on the highway, on the byway, those that apply Isaiah 58 day and night on our people, that's what it is about, man. So you got to keep that in your mind, right? Let's continue to say, the word of the Holy One, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High, the living. So you're Israeli, you're so-called American, you're so-called French, the NATO. You got to understand this, man. The Chinese, the Russian, the Ukrainian, the Egyptian. Okay, you got to understand this, man. Right? Let's read it again, man. That the living, are you not living? The living, man and woman, the horse, the beast, the fish, that the living may know that the Most High, who? Yahweh, the only one God, none like unto him. There is no other God behind him. Okay? That the Most High, Yahweh, ruling in the kingdom of man. He ruling in the kingdom of who? Man. So the Most High ruling in the kingdom of the Iranian. The same way the Most High ruling in the kingdom of the Israeli, right? The Most High is ruling in the kingdom of the Iranian. The Most High ruling in the kingdom of the Russian. The Most High ruling in the kingdom of the Egyptian. The Most High ruling in the kingdom of the Canadian, the French. The list goes on and on, man. Right? He said that the Most High ruling in the kingdom of man and give it to whomsoever he will. You understand that? Do you understand, you Israeli? Do you understand? We're the Israelite and you're the Israeli. It's two different words. You got to keep in mind. So do you understand that? Or do I need to break it down? Do I need to go deeper? So keep in mind. The Most High will rule in the kingdom of men and give it to whomsoever he will and set up over it the basis of men. The basis of men, you got to keep that in mind. So don't be proud thinking that, well, you're going to stop the Iranian. The Iranian about to be ready for the bomb. We're going to stop them, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't happen like that, man. It does not happen like that. The Most High rule in the kingdom of men. Point blank period, man. Right? Point blank period. right? You got to stop lunching. You lunching too much, Esau. The Most High ruling in your kingdom. The same way you see this going on down, back and forth, the Most High control all those things, man. You can't stop it. You can't stop it. Who are you to stop it? You cannot stop it, buddy. The Most High rule in kingdom of man. That's the main goal we want you to understand. You can't do anything unless the Most High allow you to do it. You cannot do anything unless the Most High allow you to do it. So you got to keep in mind, right? Right, let's go right here. Right, it's another verses I want to bring out. I think it's in the book of Daniel chapter 2, right? I think so. It's in Daniel chapter 2, right? Right, let's read it. Right on point. All praise be unto the Most High. Daniel chapter 2, and we're going to go to verses, so you can link that up, right? You can precept that, right? Right? You got to understand, right? So you got Daniel, right? Daniel chapter 4:17, okay? You can precept that with Daniel 2:44, okay? Right on point, right? Let's read it. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 2 and verse 44. You say, let me show you this, because a lot of time, right, people don't understand.